Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of the Scoreboard for Monday, December the 20th, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Eric Sundblad, alongside
Maddie Evans!
Number one hockey fan, Maddie Evans, which is great news because we have a hockey-loaded show today, Maddie. Always my favorite shows.
You know, I wasn't a really big hockey person until just recently, so I'm excited to be getting into it.
Yeah, once you get family members into it, that's when it really takes off. And they're going to learn some good character and good personal skills, your little kiddos, Bodie and Bridger, your little brothers. So,
yeah.
Good stuff.
Those little nuggets of mine, I cannot believe that they're so into hockey, and I cannot believe they just turned 11. It's crazy. They're like small men now.
Good stuff, Maddie. I love it. This week, today, both work. This week on the Scoreboard, we will be covering your Vail Yeti as they face off against the Breckenridge Vipers. We've got a brand new segment called Coach's Corner, where I'm going to be sitting down with Vail Christian boys basketball head coach Sheldon Kuhns to get his thoughts on the season and their game right before they played off against Meeker this past Friday. And then we've got Huskies hockey as they faced off against Glenwood Springs in a heated rivalry matchup. And then some fun special guests appearing on that Huskies hockey game, Maddie. I can't wait for people to meet the future stars of television here.
I know, I'm excited for them, and I'm excited that they got the opportunity to meet you and work with you, because what an incredible experience for a high school kid.
I enjoy working with these local athletes and enjoy hopefully spurning the future of journalism. So I'm excited for everybody to meet those two girls. And for now, let's take a short little break. We'll come back with a look at your Vail Yeti facing off against the Breckenridge Vipers. Welcome back once again, friends, to the Scoreboard. Let's get into your first segment tonight, Vail Yeti Hockey, Maddie.
Against the Breckenridge Vipers. Just the name, the Vipers, is intense, and so I like the Yetis more.
Yeah.
A Yeti, you just want to hug. A Viper, you're like, bah.
Yeah, Yeti's nice. Viper's cold. Viper's not furry and cuddly. That's no good.
No.
But the Yeti, coming into this game, they lost to the Breckenridge Vipers 5-2 in Breckenridge. They always play a home and home when it comes to Breckenridge, so they can give both rinks some love. Yeti currently on a 3-game losing streak. Let's see if Captain Bill Foster and the rest of your Vail Yeti can pull off a victory against Breckenridge. Here we go, Saturday night hockey. Vail Yeti looking for revenge against their loss Friday night in Breckenridge against these here Viper. And Yeti coming in with a 3-game losing streak, so they're really looking to right this ship before they go on a bit of a hiatus before their next home game on January 7th. Now we're nothing right now. Yeti applying some good forecheck. That's a great shot on net. Good job looking after that garbage mucker goal. That is a goal for your Vail Yeti, up 1-0 with 5 minutes left in the first period. Packed Dobson Arena. The fans always come out for Breckenridge. Always love to see the Yeti beat the Breckenridge Viper. Breckenridge gets a good shot on net there, kept out of the net by the Yeti goaltender. He did a great job this evening. Now setting up the second period. Here's the drop of the puck. How would things go? Could the Yeti continue to build a lead, or would Breckenridge come back into this game? Puck dumped deep into Breckenridge zone, held at the point by the Yeti, but then poked away by Breckenridge as they head down the ice for a rush. Nothing would come of that. Now another poke at the point by Breckenridge gives them a huge breakaway. Oh, don't worry. That's why you got the goaltender back there, getting aggressive, stepping out and stopping that Breckenridge breakaway. Still 1-0. There, Breckenridge with some pressure. Ah, shucks. Viper score a goal there on the Yeti. Great rush by Breckenridge, now tied at 1. And that fan getting a little too hyper trying to jump over the boards. Remember, folks, no banging on the glass here. Hockey's a classy sport. We don't do that in Colorado. That's for Nashville and other markets. Yeti, great shot on goal, deflected away by the Breckenridge goaltender. They continue to press, continue to push, and in the net it goes. 2-1 now. Vail Yeti. There's Breckenridge with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Oh! kept out of the net. Goalie takes a hard one to the head, though. Hope he's doing okay. He would stay in the game. He would continue to fight and battle. And of course, hockey, great sport. Big, deep drive by the Yeti there. Great forechecking. Now they've still got the puck, curling it around, drop it into the corner, keep that cycle game going up to the point. That one harmless into the corner, but up to the slot for the Yeti. Still mucking and grinding. That one's in the net. 2-1 Yeti. They're looking great in this third period, starting to really seal things off. Take it away from Breckenridge. Breckenridge, though, would get a good opportunity here, getting a little bit rough and tumble there. Yeti player pushes him to the ground. Breckenridge player, for no reason, runs into the Yeti goaltender. And of course, if you run into the goalie, you're going to have some problems. So things start getting out of hand here. Sticks are kicked away. Players are pushed. Boom! Little cross check to the face. That's just adult hockey. That's senior A hockey right there. You know, they're not going to drop the gloves and really get into fisticuffs, but you love to see a little emotion, a little aggression. The fans are going too crazy for us to see the third Yeti goal. But trust us, it went in the net. Things are looking all smooth for the Yeti. They are rolling up against Breckenridge, trying to get that first big W of the season. Empty net on the other side. Yeti, they pull it home, 4-1. That would do it. 4-1. Yeti beat the Breckenridge Vipers. Now we're going to take a little break, come back with more here on the scoreboard. Well, hey there, friends. Time for segment 2 of the scoreboard. We've got a brand new segment for you this week. It's going to be debuting weekly. It's called Coach's Corner, where I'm going to sit down with a different coach every week and get some insights into how they're approaching whatever challenges they are facing. And with Vail Christian, I noticed that they're currently on a bit of a roller coaster, Maddie. They are going win-loss, win-loss. Yeah,
the ups and the downs of the season really starting their season for them, which I feel like is humbling and encouraging at the same time, which I think is good.
Yeah, so Sheldon, the head coach, definitely agreed with you there in terms of it being the beginning of the season and just kind of getting their feet under them. But Sheldon had some great insight into how they're going to approach the real meat of their season, which is coming up next. Now, this game was filmed right before they played Meeker. I've got great news. They did end up beating rival Meeker 51-36 right after this interview. So big congrats to Vail Christian basketball. Now let's head on down for a coach's corner with Sheldon Kuhns. Continuing our look at various Eagle County high school sports here, I wanted to take a deep dive into Vail Christian basketball. So I came on down to Vail Christian campus. I'm joined now by head coach Sheldon Kuhns of 21-year fame, right, Sheldon?
Yeah, that's right. This is year 22.
Oh my gosh, man. Well, congratulations on that heck of a tenure, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for coming down and asking about Vail Christian basketball.
Yeah, you guys, starting this season off, I'm kind of seeing a bit of a roller coaster in terms of the games, where you got your first victory, took a loss, victory, loss. What are you talking about in the locker room to maybe steady the boys going into Meeker tonight?
Yeah, it's early season, so it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for us, win-loss, win-loss. But consistency, really, and consistency in games, but also in practice. We had an intense week of practice this week preparing for Meeker tonight. So we're hoping that consistency through the 5 days of practice we can carry over into each game.
Okay. Any sort of change up the strategies going into Meeker, or are you going to kind of stick with the same game plan, like not in panic mode quite yet?
Oh no, we're definitely not in panic mode. We are going to change our lineup a little bit tonight and play a little smaller than we typically do, just because we're looking for a full court press to maybe generate some stops on defense, but generate some easy offense with some steals that we can turn into the layup. So that's one minor change we're making tonight. But we have all 5 guys, starters back from last year, and no one left in graduation last year. So we're not panicked. We know each other well. We had a few lagging football injuries that kind of hampered us a little bit, and those are kind of healing up. So we feel like we're about to hit our stride.
How much of that is a challenge with the cross-sport athletes? You see it so much up here in high school. Is that a typical thing in basketball because you're always coming off the back of football season?
Right, that can be normal because football is such a physical sport that, we've had some of that stuff over the years. But I love the fact that our guys play multiple different sports. If they play football in the fall, basketball in the winter, and run track or whatever else in the spring, soccer, I think it's great. It's better for them athletically. You do have to deal with a few injuries maybe here and there, but all in all, I think it's good.
Yeah, it's got to be great for team cohesion to have that similar character and similar voices between the sports.
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of things translate from sport to sport. Like, basketball is its own sport, but things they do on the soccer field or on the football field definitely translate to basketball as well.
Yeah. So looking ahead to this year, we got a big break, which is normal for high school sports. Is there anything that you're doing consistently year after year to keep their heads in the game, or is it just relax, don't think about it, and we'll pick up with a hard practice again?
Well, yeah, we have our last game of December tonight, and we don't play again until January 7th, I think. So that's like 3 weeks from tonight is our next game. It's nice to have a break for them mentally, especially, academically. They've been, they've had a tough semester. Mm-hmm. So it'll be nice for them to have a break mentally, but physically as well, with football and now basketball. But we'll do plenty of open gyms. So we don't make it mandatory practice over break, but we'll be in the gym 6, 7, 8 times as CHASA allows. Yeah. And we won't be rusty when we come back in January.
Any specific rivals once we get into January, February, the meat of the season for people to look forward to?
Well, yeah, that's one thing. Our first 4 games that we're 2-2 right now, they've all been non-conference games. But tonight with Meeker starts league play, and we're pretty much in league play for the rest of the year, with the exception of a handful of games. Mm-hmm. So. Vail Mountain School has been a rival over the years. Sirocco has been a rival for sure. We definitely get up for that game. And tonight's game against Meeker, they're not so much a rival, but they've really been the class of our league for the last 20 years. They're the biggest school in our league. So it's a really good measuring stick for us tonight, knowing where we'll kind of fit into our league moving forward. Yeah.
Does that, them being a bigger school, is that playing into altering your lineup and wanting to get a bit of a faster, more push of a squad going?
Yeah, they're Meeker. They're tough kids. They're physical, and so I feel like we maybe want to speed the game up a little bit so they can't slow it down and be so physical that they'll have to chase us around a little bit, and that won't fit into what their game plan.
Yeah. Well, excellent, Sheldon. Looking forward to covering the Saints this year. You guys have a wonderful basketball program, and hoping for big things from you.
Thank you so much for coming down and learning a little bit about our program and Team Together. That's our slogan.
Absolutely. Big high five, Sheldon.
Right.
Thank you for joining me, and thank you for tuning in to The Scoreboard. We'll have plenty more on your Vail Christian Saints coming up soon. All right, friends, let's get into my favorite sports and my favorite segment this week. This one's super cool. Huskies hockey facing off against Glenwood Springs, Maddie.
I mean, I'm excited for them. They had kind of a rough weekend in Denver, but then it turned around pretty quickly. They lost to Regis 8-0, and then they beat Mullen 8-1.
Yeah.
So they did phenomenal, and I think that coming back up before coming into a home game is really next level for them.
Yeah, should be seeing some great momentum. I felt like that Regis game maybe been a bit of kick in the pants for them to get back to that championship level quality of hockey we saw so often last season. So what we're going to do here, another unique one, we're first going to preview the game with Coach Derek Byron right before the game. Then we're going to get into your classic highlights from typical here on the scoreboard. And then our 2 special guests, future journalists, future sports broadcasters, they're going to take control of the post-game interview with Jack Suhadolink. So big thanks to Emily, Ava, Jack, and Derek for making this a fun segment. Now let's get into Coach Derek Byron, he didn't like that French-Canadian pronunciation before the interview. Let's get into Coach Derek Byron before they faced off against Glenwood. Glenwood Springs today, what kind of team are they? Are they going to be a bigger, more harder-hitting team, or are they faster, speedier? What are you looking for out of Glenwood?
Honestly, I don't really know yet, but they're young. I know that. So should be a good game. I'm sure they're going to work hard and give us some run for our money. So
yeah. young team. Maybe you can get under their skin mentally a little bit, throw them off their game a bit. Maybe some choice words at the faceoff dot or something.
Maybe.
All right, Derek. Well, thank you so much for joining me. We're about ready to get this Glenwood game going, so fingers crossed, and hopefully we get to talk to you guys afterwards.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Derek. Big thanks to Coach Derek Byron for giving us that pregame interview, little preview of Huskies versus Glenwood Springs. Glenwood currently 1-1 on the season after beating Mullen 8-0 and then losing to Aspen 2-1. And here's a great example of the Huskies' mucker and grinder forecheck ability. They've got one man that's going to keep pressure down low. They're going to run an umbrella scheme to keep rolling their three forwards in and supporting. And you'll see that worked perfectly there with Benno Scheidegger, number 19, coming in from the point to hold it. Carter Large does a good job holding it. They ultimately would clear the zone, Glenwood would, but that was a great example of the Huskies' hard forecheck throughout this entire game. Carter Large there wires one from the high wall. Huskies now on the power play, but here comes Glenwood Springs on a breakaway, loses his footing, keeps battling for the puck, and it goes in. Logan Grimmer, Huskies goalie, would probably like that one back. Huskies would quickly answer, though, with some great pressure after that power point. Sidney Collette up on the point, doing a good job holding the puck in. Another great forechecking job. Watch for Carter Large there, number 24 on the high wall. He's going to get the puck and just wire it top shelf. Oh, boy. Carter Large, Vail Mountain School athlete, coming over to play for the Huskies with a great goal to tie it up 1-1. Huskies would continue to apply great pressure. And here they go, working their way down in the corner. They're going to look for a good open slot, and boom, that one will count. Nate Bishop with the great 1T goal. Great work there by the Huskies. And now Jack Suhadolink gets the puck in the slot, right where Carter Large played around for the first goal. He makes it 3-1. Your Battle Mountain Huskies. They win a draw in the faceoff zone. Sidney Collette gets beat, and another breakaway for Glenwood Springs. Boom, that one hits the water bottle, goes top shelf. 3-2 heading into the second period now. Huskies again controlling things well down low. Big shot out front. That's another one for Jack Suhadolink. That's 2 on the board for Jackie Boy. Huskies would end up winning this game 5-2. And as I was filming, I had a couple special guest stars filming next to me. Future sports journalists, Emily and Ava. So I let them have the post game with Jack Suhadolink, get a little prepped for their future careers. That was a great tipper goal to finish things off by Captain Kyle Parliaments. Now let's join Ava and Emily as they speak with Jack.
Following an awesome victory over Glenwood Springs, 5-2, here we have Jack Suhadolink. How are you feeling about your 2 goals tonight?
Both goals were set up by my teammates, so we had a great team play today. Burying 5 against our rivals Glenwood feels great, especially win at home in front of a bunch of fans is awesome. So burying 2, both assists for from my teammates, so I can't think of enough. And hopefully we play them in Glenwood, we'll have the same result.
And then I saw a lot of physicality and roughness out there. Is there any past history between you guys and Glenwood?
Yeah, Glenwood's our #1 rival, right across the canyon. So beating them is always like the best feeling ever, especially when you do it in front of a great crowd. So physicality is definitely pretty high today, which is sweet.
And then you beat Mullen 8-2 last week. How is that feeling? How are you preparing going into the holiday break?
Beating, on a 2-game win streak going into the break is a great feeling, considering, I get 2 weeks off, a lot of team bonding over the break, and I'm excited for a little bit of rest. So, when we come back, we got a game against Aspen next, so going a 2-game win streak against them is going to be awesome. A lot of momentum.
This has been Emily and Ava.
Thank you for watching the scoreboard. Stay tuned for plenty more with your Huskies. And thanks to our wonderful guests, Emily and Ava, and thanks to Jack for that interview. We'll be back with more on the scoreboard. Welcome back once again, friends, to the scoreboard. We're going to close things off for you today Boy, how about that post-game interview, huh?
I mean, it was cool to see the girls do it, but that poor girl, she didn't get to say a single word.
Yeah, Emily, much love out to you. Through no fault of your own, it's so hard to have two hosts standing next to one athlete and get questions bounced back and forth.
We know.
Yeah, we know the struggles, but you guys both did great. Best of luck to both you, Emily, and Ava, as you head to college next year for sports journalism. There's always going to be a position here at TV8, so come on back home once you graduate. Come hang out with us. It's a good time.
Seriously, join our team. We're a lot of fun.
We are. We're a blast here. So coming up next week on the scoreboard, we're going to have athlete profiles. So there's no games. We're officially in holiday break. So I sat down with 3 Ski Snowboard Club Vail and Vail Ski and Snowboard Academy Nordic athletes. Now, Nordic, not a very I don't want to say popular, that's mean, but it doesn't get a lot of light shined on it, so I specifically wanted to focus on Nordic.
I mean, Nordic is just such a beast in itself that like, oh man, my legs already hurt. And also the balance is impressive, so I'm excited to see how the athletes kind of guide through these interviews, only because I think that Nordic skiing is so hard.
It is, yeah, it's super challenging. There's some incredible through lines through all the interviews too. They all gave very similar answers to why they got into Nordic and how they go about training. So I found that really interesting. That's going to be a super fun episode.
Yeah.
And then as we kind of return to normalcy in the weeks to come, let's go through some games coming up next. So what's on the docket?
Oh man, the next Vail Yetis game, this is really cool, and I didn't know this until you just like divulged this information to me, but New York has a fire department hockey team that comes through, and they're going to be playing the Vail Yetis on Friday, January 7th here at home.
Yeah, that's the next Yeti game, the next Yeti home game, really special opponent. A lot of crowds always come out for that one. So Friday, January 7th, Saturday, January 8th. For Vail Christian basketball, they are away at Rangeley January 7th. Their next home game is the 11th against Plateau Valley. And then Huskies hockey faces off against Aspen again on January 7th. You can just head to Dobson at about 3 p.m. and just stay through the Yeti game. It's going to be a good time.
I mean, you can do a hockey marathon with yourself.
Hockey marathon, baby. Do it. January 7th. Book it. For Maddie Evans, I've been Eric Sundblad. Thank you so much for watching the scoreboard. Remember, you can always catch up on old episodes on thescoreboardnation.com. Remember, if you can't catch the score, you can always catch the scoreboard.